Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast. My name is James, and yes, you just heard that right. Today's episode is episode 6. Can you believe it? Episode 6. For me, it's a big deal. For everybody else, it's like, it's not much of a big deal. But today is a good day because we're going to talk about one of the best Cartoon Network shows of all time. That's right, we are talking Ed, and Eddy, the lovable trios that you could just sit there and laugh at, even if you've had a bad day. We're gonna talk about the series in general and talk about some of the favorite episodes as well. I don't know how long this episode is gonna be, but hopefully it will be a good, lengthy episode. Fingers crossed. I hope you guys enjoy it. But before then, I'd just like to say thank you very much for listening to last week's episode, which was Die Hard. That was a tough one to talk about because Die Hard is such a well-loved action movie that I tried to do it as justice as I could, tried to do it really well. Maybe in the future, maybe one day we'll relive some of these episodes and probably do a better job. Just these first couple of episodes of the podcast will be dicey and sketchy. And most of the time I'm doing them on my own anyway. I only have limited guests come on to the podcast because sometimes some of the stuff that I talk about on this podcast, not everybody has seen, and it's hard to find the people who has seen it. But if you've seen any of these episodes, let me know. Let me know in the comments. It'd be great to discuss like during an intro through and read some of your comments. So it'd be pretty awesome. So if you could do that for me, I would appreciate it. If you're listening to us on YouTube right now, welcome. Hope you enjoy. Please do me a couple of things. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like on these videos. Share it with friends and leave a comment as well. I'll respond to your comments. We're doing really well. I'm checking the numbers on the videos on YouTube, and so far, the Water Boy has the most views. Last time I checked, it was about 84. So we're climbing to that triple digits there, which is really, really cool. But don't forget, guys, to like the videos. Liking the videos helps with the algorithm on YouTube, so that's how YouTube works apparently. So please do that. If you listen to us on Spotify, welcome. I hope I'm not too loud for you in the car. I'm hoping easing your car journey if it's a lengthy journey or whether you're in work. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for taking the time out to listen. Right, so with that said, let's go straight into this episode where we're talking about Ed, and Eddy, which first released on our TV shows on January 4th, 1999 on Cartoon Network. Let's go. I love hearing the music. I'm so happy I'm doing this podcast because, like, you forget sometimes what some of these sounds were like as a kid, and as we as a 33-year-old man-child. It's really cool. It brings so much nostalgia, and I hope it brings you guys nostalgia too. Right, Ed, and Eddy. Wow, where do I begin with Ed, and Eddy? I mean, like, this show was one of my favorite cartoons to watch on Cartoon Network. No idea where it came from because the show sort of emerged onto the scene around the same time as Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, Cow and Chicken, I Am Weasel, smattering of others as well. I think it was like a cartoon era where they started doing like these cartoon shows in order. And my parents hated me watching Ed, and Eddy because they thought it was so stupid. They thought it was so dumb, and that's the whole point. I mean, Ed, and Eddy's technically classed as is a comedy cartoon, but it's also a slapstick cartoon as well. It's just so hilarious how the comedic timing of it, and just how three friends who are literally trying to buy jawbreakers and how they end up in different situations. It's just brilliant. And it's just hilarious. So a little background. Ed, Edd n Eddy is a Canadian animated TV series created by, if I get the name wrong, I do apologize, Danny Antonucci. Sounds Italian. If I get that wrong, I apologize. Somebody can correct me. I don't mind that. For Cartoon Network, the series revolves around three friends named Ed, also called Double D to avoid confusion with Ed, and Eddy, collectively known as the Eds, who are voiced by the brilliant Matt Hill, Sam Vincent, and Tony Sampson, respectively. They live in a suburban cul-de-sac in the fictional town of Peach Creek, along with fellow neighborhood kids Kevin, Naz, Sarah, who is Ed's sister, Jimmy, Rolf, Johnny, and Plank, obviously, and the Ed's female antagonists or adversaries, the Kanker sisters, Lee, Marie, and May. Under the official leadership of Eddy, the trio frequently invest schemes to make money from their peers to purchase their favorite confectionery, jawbreakers, as we discussed. Their plans usually fail, leave them in various and often and painful predicaments, which is great. It's so with a description like that, and then you see some of the episodes. It's so funny. It's such a joy to watch. If you're having a bad day, this show will put a smile right on your face. It's no longer on Cartoon Network anymore. Unfortunately, it finished November 8th, 2009, which is a shame, really, because the show was great. For me, I think the first season, there's like 6 seasons, but like, I say all the cul-de-sac antics, all the episodes were really, really good. When they took the series, when they went back to school, I felt like it didn't have that same pizzazz, same comedic element as the cul-de-sac days were. But it might have been at the point where my love for cartoons was starting to diminish now, because I think those kind of episodes were about 2007, 2008, 2009. Yeah, around about that time, because, when you're a teenager, all you want to do is go out drinking and, get up to mischief. If anyone knows what that is, they know what it is. But yeah, this show, the creator, Danny, the creator, he pitched this idea to Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. It was just surprisingly, I just surprised this didn't go. I'm glad this show went to Cartoon Network rather than Nickelodeon for obvious reasons, because I think it's better suited for Cartoon Network and for where the show landed during that time. Like I said, Dexter's Lab, Cow and Chicken, all these cartoon shows were coming out. And this one literally just slotted in, just like they were all part of them. Johnny Bravo as well, there was another one. But, dude, like reading up, doing some research on this show as well, learning, like, I didn't know that the show had won so many awards for it. So, awards won on the show was they won a Reuben Award, 2 Leo Awards, and a SOCAN Award, and also nominated for another 4 Leo Awards, an Annie Award, and 2 Kids' Choice Awards. And the show attracted an audience of 31 million households and was broadcast in 120 countries. So this cartoon was so popular. And it wasn't just like kids, it was teenagers, adults, It was a wide spectrum of. Obviously, my parents didn't like it, but me, my brother, and my sister, I think we watched it. We watched it all together, and it's so hilarious. It ran for 6 seasons, and it only had 69 episodes. I swear it had more episodes than that. No, it's got 69 episodes here. They're all here. Oh, well. Didn't think of that. Well, I thought they ran a lot more than that, but I'm very, very surprised by that. Because I thought they had a lot more, episodes. So, where are we here? Right. So, oh God, I'm losing my place now. Stop it. So, I didn't know. So, again, doing the research on this, there's a lot of stuff I didn't know. I didn't know this was a Canadian made animated series. I didn't know the creator it was Canadian. So that makes it a lot of fun. And well, it was just a joyous it's a joyous TV show to listen to watch, I say. And there were like spin-offs as well. You had the video games, you had the DVD releases, you had books, comic books. But it is considered Cartoon Network's longest running original series with a 10-year run. And it was also broadcasted on Teletoon in Canada. So if anybody remembers Ed, and Eddy, please leave the comments down below. It's always great fun to interact with you guys. But it's so good. This show is whimsical. It's funny. It's basically the journey of three friends who, through the entire summer, just want to have jawbreakers. They want a jawbreaker, but they have to scheme their way to get what they want. And like the scripture says, they often fail, and that's the beauty thing about it. I think there was only one episode that they actually managed to get jawbreakers. I think it was like the first 5 or 6 episodes that they did a scheme, and they got the jawbreakers, and it's a tire. That's where it was. Like a giant swing or like a ship or something. The tire just come out of nowhere. The camera off shot hits all three of them, spits their jawbreakers out, and they're running after the jawbreakers. That's class. That's the only time they've managed to get jawbreakers. We see them with jawbreakers. So let me take a drink here. We'll be ranting and raving all about the show all day. For everyone who's curious what I'm drinking Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. So it's actually quite nice. I have been on a bit of a diet, thank you for noticing. So let's go through some of the characters, shall we? Let's start off. So let's start off with Ed. He's a lovable oaf. We love Ed. I don't think I've ever met somebody who absolutely hates Ed. He is dumb as hell, really bad BO, and a huge imagination. Kind of like most of us nerds, he's some of the stuff he says as well. His laugh is incredible, and some of the things he says, like butter toast and stuff like that. It's just it just buckles you. And he's got a monobrow and whatnot, and I know a lot of people have monobrows, but he has like specific characteristics of him that is just hilarious. Ed, Double D, we're gonna have to do Double D, anyway. Double D, he is like a goody two shoes kind of guy, where he does everything by the book. He's like the glue that holds the guys together. And he he's smart. He's a genius. He's intelligent. He's got a good head about him. Often fails to stamp his authority. Bit of a wimp, not gonna lie. But it's a stereotypical nerd back in the day who was like very, very nerdy and couldn't really defend himself. But we love Ed. We love Double D. But we didn't. I don't know. Did somebody will comment below? I don't know if we ever get to see what he looks like underneath his sock hat, because I don't know which episode it is, but isn't there an episode where Eddy ties his hat to the light on the ceiling, and Double D's so furious that he's like, "I'm gonna give you such a thrashing," and then the hat pops off, but we don't see anything. All you see is Ed and Eddy's reaction going, "Oh my," as they weren't expecting to see what they saw, and then the hat comes back down and you don't see anything. I really want to see what's under that hat, but I don't as well at the same time, because it's such a mystery and it adds to the character. It's really, really cool. We love Double D. Double D's the man. Eddy's a prick. Not gonna lie, Eddy is a prick in this show. He's such a douche. Like, all he cares about is getting jawbreakers. He doesn't care how to get it. I mean, they all care about getting jawbreakers, but he doesn't. He doesn't have he doesn't have any morals until like something really bad happens and his morals really kick in. But Eddy does have his like good side. He's funny. He's entertaining. He likes to act himself as a good-looking guy, but he's not. He pretends to be the big shot. Above the kids, but all the kids are like, yeah, well, whatever, whatnot. And yeah, we love these three. I think this is like comedy, one of the best comedy duos I've seen ever. So it's pretty awesome. Okay, so with some of the kids as well, so we'll go through some of the kids as well. So let's talk about Kevin first. We'll start with Big. We'll start with Kevin. Kevin, he's the typical high school jock. He doesn't like the Eds. Well, I say he doesn't like Eddy. I don't think he minds Eds, or I don't think he minds Double D. It's just when they're around Eddy, he doesn't like them. Hence why he always calls them dorks. And back in the day, when somebody called you a dork, you'd be like, "Oh, I don't like this. I don't like being called that." But now it's like a badge of honor. Do you know what I mean? Because like, who doesn't like a nerd? Who doesn't like a dork? Who doesn't like a geek these days? Do you know what I mean? I mean, just look at my TikTok. Jesus. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that bad. Don't worry. Calm down, ladies. And he's always riding his bike. It's funny because like every time he rides his bike, it sounds like he's driving a motorbike, it sounds like a chopper, but he's riding a chopper bike, which is actually quite funny. Fit in. And his dad owns the Jawbreaker factory. So like in one episode, he opens his garage door and you see a whole line of Jawbreakers from like different countries like Japan, Uruguay, England, Scotland, Ireland, the US, Canada, South Africa, all these different countries, and you're just like, whoa. And obviously the Eds are like, Eddy's more like, I want one, I want to try every single one, and be like, oh. And then you got Double D's like, no, calm down, Eddy, and Ed's just like, shusha. My yeast is rising. So something stupid like that. Oh, I fucking love Ed. I love him. Who else we got? We got Sarah, who is Ed's younger sister. What a bitch. Enough said, the better. Naz, who's like the neighborhood girl next door, shall we say? Because all the guys seem to like her, so she's all right, I guess. Rolf is a immigrant who has come from. They don't disclose where he has come from, but his accent and his mannerisms make him German. So I'm gonna say German. Somebody will correct me otherwise. If you correct me, it's fine. But I'm sure he's from Germany. You got Jimmy, who is like, Jimmy's a pussy, basically, isn't he? He's a right old crybaby, and always cries and something. He's like a toddler, but bless him. I think we've all known like a Jimmy now here and there in our lifetime. Do you know what I mean? I think at one point I was a Jimmy. Yeah, I was a Jimmy. So I was a pussy. Ah, there we are. Learn something new every day. And then you've also got Johnny as well, who carries a 2x4 around with him, known as Plank. And Plank's his imaginary friend. These two, again, are comedy gold because everybody knows that Johnny is doing the shit on his own, right? And Plank is just a red herring. He doesn't really have an imaginary friend. It's just Plank. It's just literally a fucking plank with eyes and a smile. It's class. Like some of the episodes with Plank where Johnny and Plank argue, and the Eds take Plank to take Plank or take Johnny, one of them, and then try and get him to fight and whatnot, train him to fight. I think isn't there one scene or one episode where Ed tries to teach Plank. Eddie tries to teach Plank how to fight, and then all of a sudden, Plank just falls over onto Double D's foot, and Double D's like, "Ow, ow!" And it's like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's wrestling match. That's the one. It was a wrestling match they were trying to do, and trying to put like the masked muffler or something. I can't remember, but that was. I think it was the mask mumbler, mumbler. I think it was, and oh man, that episode is fucking class. I should do some sound bites in here. I'll try and find some sound bites, but hopefully I'll just add them in here and there.
Auditioning Johnny 2x4 and Plank.
Anytime you're ready, kid.
Plank tells jokes. Knock him dead, buddy. Oh, that's a good one. You're killing me.
All right, so let's talk about the episode, shall we? Because I'm gonna first say, forgive me for not remembering what the titles of each episode is. I'm literally just going off this by memory. So let's say, right, let's start with the top. Let's do my top 5 episodes because I can add a soundbite here and there for each episode as I go through it. So I'd say my fifth favorite episode of Ed and Eddy would have to be the one where they imagine they're on like a planet, right? And imagine on a planet, and they're getting chased by like this mutant, and where they really ended up was the dump, the Peach Creek dump, and they find a cool little abandoned minivan that has like a waterbed and a shag carpet in, and Eddie's there like all cool in the gang, just chilling out and relaxing, and they go off. Then they pretend like the mutants are coming. They've made all these weapons and gizmos, lasers coming out and everything, and all of a sudden it just turns as they're attacking. The camera pans, and instead of seeing the shadows of like these monsters they see, it's literally Jimmy and Sarah, and they're just throwing cans at them, and it's just hilariously so funny.
We're never gonna find shells. Huh? Hey! Cool! Ha! Huh? Cool! Hey guys, come on in! Enjoy the genuine shag carpeting and the waterbed! Boys, welcome to Central Command!
That was a great episode. Episode the fourth, number 4 in my list, has got to be where Eddy, well, the boys find this disc and it spins and it hypnotizes people, and Eddy has like a great idea of like hypnotizing the kids in order to get them money. So that is hilarious because by the end it's working so well, and then by the end, the Kanker sisters take it off them and hypnotize the Ed boys to be dogs, and they become pets at their trailer park. So that was fun.
That is a hypnotizing wheel. Allow me to demonstrate. Ed, listen to my voice. You will become what you've always dreamed of. 1, 2, 3.
Stop him, Double D!
Back to Ed, please.
My calves hurt.
Episode number 3, probably one of the first episodes that I watched. It's where the Ed boys pretend to be plumbers, and they try and pretend to fix stuff to get for money, and Ed completely fucks everything up, messes everything up, and they resort to the point where he rips the radiator out of somebody's house. I think it was Johnny's house, and they're worried about the excess steam is like causing everybody to sweat, and where Double D goes, it's so hot in here, it feels like a sauna in here, and Eddy just goes, great, let's make a spa, and then they make the spa and whatnot to get people and everybody's enjoy it. All the kids freak out then because Rolf's towel falls, and everybody leaves, and Ed just bursts in through the wall saying, does anybody need a towel or something like that? And he's still attached to the support beam of the house, and the house collapses. It's brilliant.
How embarrassing! Ow! Rolf, you're so gross! Run away!
You're on your own, dude.
Can somebody tell me what's going on?
I must protest the rudeness of your guests! What just happened? Make yourself decent, Rolf!
You're scaring the customers away, Rolf! Put your towel on!
Towel rack at your service.
Now look what you did!
I can't bear to look, has Rolf. Is that the support beam to the house?
What's a support, babe?
This has been quite a day.
Oh, fantastic. Number 2, and I think everybody would probably agree with my choice. Maybe not, but I think others would have different. Probably number 2 for me is most definitely when the Ed boys play Truth or Dare, and they switch bodies. So it's like Ed becomes Eddy, Eddy becomes Double D, and Double D becomes Ed. And it's just hilarious how all 3 characters like not only take the piss out of each other, but also pretend to be each other as well. It confuses everybody, and obviously leads up to certain shenanigans towards the end of the episode. So that's a great episode.
Okay, I dare Eddie to be double D.
Eddie, act like me? Why, that's
Stupid, Ed! You blew your chance to.
You know, Eddie, it could be quite intriguing. Why, I'd be flattered if you were to mimic me.
Let's see. Where do I start?
The wind conditions are absurd. The lean is too steep for the fat.
Oh, good double D, Eddie.
Oh dear, the insanitary. My skinny arms cannot bear the weight. Oh, I know. I'll move it with my brain.
Ha ha ha, very good, Eddie.
And for me, now the number one episode for me is very, very tough because there's so many good episodes. But for me, the number one episode that I think is a really top level episode has to be the fad episode where the Eds are so behind on the fads, trying to keep up with everybody, but as soon as they get on the fad, everybody switches. It's like a TikTok trend for the 90s. So one time they'd be on stilts, another time they would be, I don't know, different sunglasses, and then something else will come around. So the Eds think outside the box and think, we'll try a different fad, which they created the Fad Breakers, which they wore like these colorful outfits and a mailbox on the head. So they go around, do all this, try to impress the kids. We're like part of these. And then the kids do something else, go off, and then the Eds are like, oh, this is not good. And then they go off to do something else. And then they come back and then they realize all the kids are now doing the Fad Breaker stuff. And it's like, they just can't win whatsoever. So this one is a number one episode for me. There's so many honorable mentions as well. But this is my number one.
So bouncy! Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy! Come on, Jimmy!
Wow! Time to dazzle, boys. Huh? We're so ahead, we're invisible.
I'm quite enjoying myself, Eddie. Huh?
Cool!
Taka, taka, taka.
We are Fad Freakers. You are Old Hat.
Oh, dear.
Fad Freaky's where it's at.
Hey, everyone! New fad!
Some people just can't deal with greatness.
Huh? Quit laying around.
Oh, that episode! All those top 5 episodes just make me laugh. All the episodes make me laugh of this show, and yeah, it's sad to see this. The show is no longer with us, and will be in the infamy of some of the greatest cartoons to ever grace our television. And if you are lucky enough to watch this show in the heyday, it's great to watch. I'm pretty sure there's like DVDs of it around somewhere. You can see some of the episodes on YouTube as well. They are scattered around places. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think scoring this, we'll do it out of 99 because it came out in 1999. I'm gonna give it. It is a solid 98. It's a solid 98 because just how good it is. It's so good, so good. The reason why I'm not giving it a perfect score, is because I think just for like the school episodes, I think I did find the school episodes funny, but that's the only black mark against it. Other than that, it's a great show, really good show. Right, play some music, and then we'll say goodbye officially. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for this week's episode. It's been a blast to talk about Ed, and Eddy. It's been super fun to go down memory lane, and it's super fun to come back each and every week, giving you these episodes. A lot more still to come, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. First of all, I'd like you guys to go over to our YouTube channel and give us a subscribe there at The Multiverse of Entertainment Podcast on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, notification bell on as well so you don't miss anything. Share it with a friend and leave a comment. Follow us on Spotify as well. Leave us a comment and leave us a review on Spotify. This is how the algorithm works, so we can get more people, more folks, more nerds to engage with us. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Multiverse Entertainment Pod. Follow us on there. Check out every Wednesday we get a snippet of what the next episode is going to be, and our TikTok as well at MoPod as well. Go check us out on TikTok as well. So you get each episode every Monday, and you will get a short video, a short clip of what the next episode is going to be like on every Wednesday. With that being said, I have been your host, James. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let's go. See you next week. Oh, by the way, better tell you, next week's episode is going to be a blast because we're back in the movie genre, and next week we are going to be talking about Starship Troopers. Don't miss that. See you next week. Have a good one.